Up YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at the Night Wanderer set that is officially revealed. It got revealed probably like an hour ago. It's going to be released in Japan on June 7th, and it will be featuring the Loyal 3 and Petrant EX. It will be part of our mini set potentially, or into our next set in the our next September set. Joining me is Victor Ong, top 8 NAIC finisher at the 2023 NAIC, so North American International Championships, Lost Box connoisseur, and a good friend of mine. Victor, what is up?
Hi, I'm here.
Thanks, Victor. Today we're going to be looking at some of the
You're
cards.
welcome.
The first card we're going to look at is Okidoki EX. 250 HP, basic Pokemon, Dark type. Colorless, Poison Muscle, search your deck for 2 basic Dark Energy and attach them to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. If you attach any energy in this way, this Pokemon is now poisoned. So it powers itself up on turn 1, going second. Dark, Colorless, Crazy Chain, 130. If this Pokemon's poisoned, does 130 more. So in theory, you have Poison Muscle to poison this, or you can use things like Hisuian Sneasler plus Brute Bonnet Tool to poison the other Pokemon active too. Get plus 30 damage there and hit for 290. So a lot of damage. I think this card could be reasonable, but fighting, like, it's got to be its own deck, and that's it. Like, it's got to be its own deck and nothing else more than anything. What do you think, Vic?
I think there is, when you first read it, it doesn't seem that good. It might still not be that good, but there is some synergy later on.
Yeah, there is a tool that is released. We won't get there immediately, but it does help the deck quite a bit. You also get Dark Patch, so you could play like a Shoes Moon style build, but it's like a moon that accelerates to itself, and also doesn't damage. I guess you do damage yourself, but you don't like actually
Kind of.
damage. You know what I mean? That is all.
You don't do 200. You don't do 200 damage to yourself.
Yeah, you don't have 200 damage. Monkey Dory EX is another basic Pokemon, a Dark type, 210. Ability skip a beat if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack while you have Petrant in play. Your opponent takes 1 less prize card. Oh, that seems pretty good. Thank you for the raid, Juancho.
But
Appreciate it.
it does mean that you need to
very
have
nice.
some other 2 prizes are in play.
Yeah. So you have to have another 2 prize in play to make this a 1 prize card, and then this becomes a 190 damage attack, and this Pokemon can't use Dirty Headbutt next turn. So this seems like way more situational and not a card that I would probably personally play myself. But yeah. Fezandipity EX is a Dark type Pokemon with 210 HP and is a basic Pokemon once again with the ability Take Advantage. If one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may use this ability. Draw 3 cards. You cannot use more than 1 Take Advantage ability per turn, and its attack is 3 colorless. Cruel Arrow, 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's a snipe. I think this card is really good. I think the fact that you can't really stop this card from giving you card advantage, and this card can be played in a lot of things where you can just put this on the bench, get this going, and like you can't really Iono something or Roxanne it anymore because Fezandipity is just going to bring your card advantage back up, and you don't have to put this guy into play until like late in the game. And when that does happen, it's like sick, man. I have to deal with the active. I have to deal with something. I have to deal with the Fezandipity. Like, what do we do?
Yeah, this is definitely splashable. It's the same effect as Oricorio GX, which did seem some play and some.
And a lot of 1 prizer decks. So this could go in something like Ancient Box or something as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Petrant EX. We have a couple of casters in the chat that are watching live with us right now. So if anyone knows the actual translation, please help me. I did not play the DLC. This guy looks really evil. I think he makes everyone do a little bit of a dance. But his ability, Chain of Command. Once your turn, you may switch one of your benched Dark type Pokemon, excluding Peckirant, with your active Pokemon if you do your new active Pokemon is poisoned. So this is another good way to get your active poisoned for Monkey Dory. So you can also do this instead of using all the tools and all that stuff. And then for Double Dark, Irritating Burst, it does 60x the number of prize cards your opponent's taken. So a great way to clean up the game because 300 at the end of the game. And there's a tool that makes it kind of spicy, so it's a little bit more than 300.
That attack's really good.
I like that quite a bit. Petrant. Thank you, casters in the chat. These guys are the 4 bandits in the DLC
Pecha
according to the
Runt.
chat.
Pecha Runt.
Pecha Runt. So even though they're loyal 3, they're not loyal. These loyal 3 ain't loyal. So that wraps up some of the EXs that are coming out. Next up, we have Kyurem, Ice Dragon guy. Ability, basic Pokemon, Dragon type 130. Ability, Anti-Plasma. If your opponent has a chorus in its name in their discard... if your opponent has a card with chorus in its name in the discard pile, the attack cost of this card is colorless instead. Water, metal, colorless. Ridiculous, by the way. Trifrost, discard all energy touches Pokemon. This attack does 110 to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon.
So rude, man.
It's literally only a...
It's already... My deck is already dead. Come on.
It's literally only a Lost Box counter, realistically, because, like... That's actually just so rude to any deck that plays Comfy. Like, that's... like, the Pokemon needs to stop printing cards like this, like, where we had, like, Mew, and then we had Drapion printed, and you're like, I wonder what this card was printed for. And now we have Lost Box decks, and Pokemon is like, hey guys, I'm sick of you guys flower selecting. We didn't want you to flower select this much. So, like, what are we going to get in 2 sets? Is there going to be a grass type Pokemon that says, if your opponent's active Pokemon is Charizard EX, you can slap your opponent across the face? Like, come on, man. Like, what is this? This is ridiculous.
There are some funny interactions, though, the way this card is worded. Like, in GLC, for example, your opponent plays down Chorus, like the old Chorus.
Oh, yeah. And then you just have this GLC card
their board.
that snipes 3 things. That's pretty funny.
Chat's also mentioning Reggie Drago.
Oh, yeah, Reggie Drago VMAX can play it. Yep.
Yeah.
And here's the trainer that everyone was talking about. It's called Binding Mochi, Pokemon Tool. The attacks of your poison Pokemon do 40 more damage before applying weakness and resistance. So this is like kind of insane for this Monkey Dory deck, because Monkey Dory goes to 260 plus 40 to get to 300 with the Binding Mochi. And then if you play Bonnet, Tool, Sneasler, you hit 330, which one-shots every single thing in the format. Now, if you can play something like Morpeko or another one-prize attacker that actually makes sense in the deck, you have the workings of a weird poison dark type deck that does something.
This is too much.
Dude, it's cool. I think it could work. I think it's like reasonable, you know? I don't think it's amazing. Probably like tier 3 at best, but like it's got to be goofy. Chorus is Tenacity, because for some reason Pokemon really likes Chorus, and he just keeps... Like, this is a Gen 9 game, by the way. And this guy's... He's what, Gen 5? He's just hanging out in Gen 5. And we're just bringing...
He's really tenacious.
We're just really bringing this guy back. Like, it's really funny to me how there's, like, all the supporters that exist in the context of, like, the game. And then we just randomly bring back, like, a gym lead, like Morty. Like, Morty was in last set. Like, why is Morty here, man? Like, what's he doing? Is he on vacation? Like, what's happening? We have Chorus' Tenacity. Search deck for a Stadium card and energy. Reveal and put them into your hand. This is actually a really cool card, because we have not had reliable Stadium search in a really long time, and no reliable special energy search either. So this kind of provides both. So if there is a way to do this, it's actually really cool. I think so.
Kuzma and Hala saw play and still continues to see play, like in expanded and DLC and whatnot. So this could have a similar...
David in chat did mention also that Mochi plus Pecharunt helps your Zard out too, so your Zard does more damage because Zard is dark type. So, you know, you got a lot of things you can do with that now. This is a slightly less busted Guzman Hala. Yeah, like everyone's saying in the chat, this is like, if Guzman Hala is like an absolutely insane card, you have this. You just don't have Tag Call, but you can figure it out. And we have our first A-Spec Stadium card, which I'm actually a huge fan of, because I was really a fan of Prism cards when they were Stadiums as well. I thought that was one of the coolest mechanic. So Neutral Center is a Stadium A-Spec. Prevent all damage under this Pokemon. They don't have any rule box. Wait, I have to reread this again because I just messed that up, I think. Prevent all damage done to Pokemon that do not have rule boxes by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. And the caveat here is, if this card goes to your discard pile, it cannot be put into your deck or hand. So no Silene, no Roseanne's backup, no way to recycle it. It doesn't do anything much right now. I think it's kind of bad, honestly. Maybe it goes into like Lost Box or something. but like Drum and Prime Catcher seem way better. But I think for the context of this, it's just cool that we're going to be moving into a place where we have more A specs potentially that are stadiums.
I think it could do something. It just depends on. So, like for example, in Lost Box, you can Roxanne neutral center against like Dragapult or against
Mm-hmm.
Charizard, and then if you can take out their draw engine at the same time, they probably don't have an out to it. The problem lies if they have Pidgeot or like Barrel still even.
Yeah,
It's
which
probably
which
not
there's
a
too
good
much. There's
card.
too much like individual search right now that makes this
Yeah,
hard.
there is a lot.
Arvin is like one
Yeah.
of the best cards in the game, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, well, that is everything for the new Night Wanderer cards. Hope you guys are excited for them as much as I am. I didn't play the second part of the DLC, so I actually don't know what's going on with this guy here in particular, but I don't like him. I don't like how he looks. So we're gonna cap the video off there. If you guys enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. I am live right now broadcasting the Champions League, and everyone in chat is with me. We have 183 people on YouTube and 56 on Twitch watching this video being filmed live, and you guys can do that too someday with me. But that's all for now. Peace out, and we're going to go back to our daily scheduled content.